So in this lesson, we'll try to create a swap app with people and stars and their starships. So we'll try to display different, lot of people, and when we select one person, we will try to display the information about their starships and their films and their planet they were part of. So that is the goal. So let's go ahead, and I just compiled the app, sample app I just created, and compile this sample app. Localhost 4200 is the default port per Angular. So this is a brand new app that I just created with Nginx command, and I can come down and here and replace this. First, let us plan our layout. Okay, how do we how do we want to create our layout? So that is important, right? So without a layout plan, you could really not make any sense out of your application. So maybe my app should work like this. My app border should be here. Okay, and a header that talks about Swap API, like a text here, and some links like people and planets or starships, maybe, and a toolbar, maybe if needed, at something like this, or and some layout for people one, person one, person two. So if it is people, it will load like this: person one and person two and person three, something like this. Okay, so we need a toolbar, we need a card, we need an image, we need some descriptive things, we need a routing. So okay, I think I needed to do that. So now I have Angular. So as per my plan, what do I need? I need a header. I need, and to design all these things, my time is really not sufficient. So what can I do at this point of time?
And just bootstrap, bro.
Yeah, I think the best way to go with is Bootstrap. That's fine. I can go with Angular Material too, but okay, for now, let's go and import Bootstrap. Bootstrap, and here we go. We have Bootstrap, and we have the installation command here. So I come here. Let me install the Bootstrap. Bootstrap is now part of my application. Okay. And how do I install Bootstrap? I need you to add something in my angular.json. Anyone can remember?
uh, styles and square brackets, and in that the module.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have this Angular configuration file that is out here. So we'll have to, in the architecture, here in this section, the styles and script, we have to give the styles and scripts of Bootstrap to load properly here. So dot slash node modules slash, I just wanted to figure out, I just wanted to import it somewhere, but since I'm not getting it, so I think I will have to go here, find the bootstrap, dest, CSS, bootstrap min.css. I'll have to find bootstrap min.css. This is a minified version. So I can copy the relative path, come here and replace. So that is another way of doing it. Yeah, I get the bootstrap, and we can also import the SCSS version, but I don't want to make things complex, and bootstrap min.js, copy relative path and paste it in scripts. That's it. So after doing that, you need to restart your application to just get that newly added items onto your project. So to verify that, if we go back to our app, yeah, we can see the styles being changed here. And if you wanted to verify, you could see here that the media queries and everything got already been added. So that means Bootstrap is already here. So now Bootstrap is installed. I can figure out a way to install. I can go and find a particular component for doing the same job. So maybe I can go to docs and I can figure out navigation. Okay. First thing what do I need is my navigation part. I just wanted to figure out that. So I think this is landed me in.
Ganesh, where did you get the file when you went to the Bootstrap and Node modules? How did you get the,
Yeah.
did you,
So yeah.
I know that you
all
put
the
it in your Angular. I just don't, you copied something it looked like to put in the,
Yeah. So in the node modules, we know everything get
Mhm.
installed in the node modules, right?
yeah.
So now Bootstrap alphabetically, where do I get Bootstrap? At location B. So this is alphabetical order. The list
Yeah.
is in alphabetical order. So I went to Bootstrap. So here I can see different folders, but what do I need to worry about is the distributable files folder. So this is where you get the compiled output and everything. So I come to CSS and I look for a Bootstrap min.css. So
Yeah.
that means everything here is bundled up in this one file, this one tiny file. So, I mean, if you just need utilities, you can import this. If you don't need anything else, you can. So Bootstrap has given freedom to choose. But I just want everything to be packed up with my packet. Now, right click on this file. You say copy relative path.
Oh, thank you.
Copy relative path. So if you copy the relative path, you will get this kind of path. So that means from the root of your application, what is the path of that particular file? So that's what we are asking. It makes our
Thank
life
you.
easy. Yeah. So that option, copy relative path, makes a lot of things easy. Yeah. So let's go to examples. Let's go to navigations because that was not really helping for me. And okay, I want to copy this element. Copy this element. And come to your app application and paste it here. So is this really you want to do that? This is Angular, and doing these kind of things is really silly because Angular is all about smaller components. It's not about some bunch of HTML pasting in somewhere. So it's not that. Angular is all about building small components. So now this component is itself a component. It should be a component because whenever I need navigation, I can import that component so that my navigation works. So first thing I needed to do is, instead of copying everything onto the app components.html and viewing that here, so I'll just first do what I'll do. I'll say ng generate component navigation. So I get the component, and in the navigation, I will have the navigation code. And yet I haven't got anything. So what is the Angular rule? Angular is tightly dependent on dependency injection. So anything that you do, anything that you want to use it, you have to import it in particular section. In the destination folder, you have to use it. So I'm just copying this name, going to app module. So this has been already added by Angular. So I'm not really been added. If not added, what do I need to do? If let us say if this is not added, okay, I'll paste this component. I'll use this auto import section. I'll verify if this is really the part of the component, like, okay, add import from .navigation. Yes, that is what I wanted to import. So hit it. So save it. Now that is imported and part of this module. I know this is tough because you have to keep track of these imports, but yeah, once you get the hang of it, you don't need to do that. And to use that, component is been imported, but I wanted to use this HTML or this component in app component.html. So come to app component.ts file, copy this selector, go to app component. Now I'm going back, nothing on the page. Once you paste this, you need to create an element with a name that you created the selector with. So this is a selector. You write the selector here and save it. We got it. So if you go back and look at the HTML that you have written for your navigation is inside where? Is inside app navigation component. So if I need the navigation somewhere else, I'll just import the component. I'll just keep this HTML. So it's easy. It's made my life easy. So a small thing that here. Okay. Now I wanted, make the changes. So I'll go here. I'll make the changes like swap application, save it, swap application. But what do I really have is first the home page is people, and then planets, not planets, it's planets. I go crazy at times, and starships. I think that's all. I think that's what we committed for. Is it so? Planet, starships, and only 3 people, planet, and starship. That's what all about, Star Wars have. Okay, so I just copied it somewhere else and make sure I don't litter, I don't throw out some class litter. I think like example class, example thing, that is, I think everything is fine. So I'm not going over the Bootstrap because I'm assuming that you know Bootstrap already and you won't get that confusion at this point. So this is a image, a logo style. It's using the Bootstrap SVGs. So I'm not worried about some SVG or logo or something. So I remove that HTML and I save it. I get my same thing. Yeah. Now I got my header. So my home page is all about people. So now if I click on planets, I should go to planets. If I click on starship, I should go to starship. What do I need to do that for? So there is another concept called Angular routing. So what Angular routing do is it will enable you to change the URL navigation here and change the subject, the view that is below, so that it makes sure that you navigated to one page to another so that you can see the data. So I'm coming back here. So how do I add navigation to my Angular app? So if you said yes to your Angular generation when you're generating, I said yes to Angular routing. So as soon as you said Angular routing yes, you would see this module being imported. Okay, this app routing module being created. So all you got to worry about building this route app routing module. So entire routing concept will reside in app-routing.module.ts. If you are creating for your app, you will create an app. If it is inside something, I think so we will talk about nested routing some point else. I mean, somewhere, some point in future, but now we'll figure out the simple routing. This is about simple routing. So you could see you imported ng module because we are generating a module. So we needed to use ng module schema. So if you are generating something, so if you are adding some, schema, you will import that, right? You need to access the code to create a module. So I added it. And router module and routes. So routes is simply a type of particular, so this is a type. So it will tell you to how to create a particular route in Angular, and router module is the actual module. So now I said import and for route. So what does this mean is you are creating the topmost layer of navigations. So as I said in the beginning, you can create in routing inside routing and routing inside that routing. You can create nested routing. But for now, today we are looking at the simple route route. So to work, you need to import route. So if you are still struggling, I'll just recreate this file and run you through. So I need ng module. So just like this. So I'll just copy this, come over. I assume that I just created this file. Okay. So I just added ng module out of here. So in the ng module, what do I need to import? I needed to import what? If I go back, I needed to import router module and for routes. Okay. So this is to tell that this is a module that should be part of Angular main module, because if you say that router module, and you can configure this module to just append the routing in the app module section. So router module dot for route. So when you are creating the uppermost layer, you will say for route. If you are creating for some child, you will say for child. So this is the uppermost layer. So I said for route, and you can create some routes. So basically you're creating a module, but what are the routes that you want to keep it? What are the routes I have here? Peoples, planet, and starships. I need 3 routes. So you need to say, right, for this route, you do this, for this route, you do that, and that kind of stuff. So that's what we did here. So if we go back, if we go back, so this routing is empty. Router module is created for empty, and this has been exported. The entire file has been exported and imported in the module section. It just imported here. So it is part of that particular section. Now it's time I excuse me. It's time that I define some of the routes. So let me do that. Few things you need to know is in routing, you can either refer modules or components. For now, I'm trying to use components. So let me generate 3 different components for 3 different navigations. So let's do that. NGGC. I'm trying to create what? So I'll create a folder, pages. Okay. And I come here, pages / people. So in the pages, the people's component is created. And that has been added to the app module. That's good. Next what? Next what I want? I want planets. That is also good. I got planets also created. Next what I'm creating? I need starships. How much time we left? 20 more minutes. I think we are doing good today. Starships. So now I have starships and everything got imported here. Okay. They should be part of this. but we wanted to create a routing for these guys. Okay, people, planet, and starships. Let us take these guys to app routing as well. Okay, import. So auto import is doing the job for me. I just copied them. I'm just importing these guys, taking help of Angular, and now I want to remove this. Now, here goes the magic. You need to give the routing to here. So first, this is an array. In the array, you need to give multiple. We have 3 navigations. We need to define 3 objects. Okay. What are the key of the objects? So if you hover, I think it will show you, you know, if you hover, this is the type, right? So if I hover, I think it's not giving some other, some more information, but if you click here, you will go to the particular router reference, but let me not worry about that. So first you have to do is what? You have to specify your first route. Okay. How can you do that? First you need to say path. Okay. What is the path? People. And what is the component that you wanted to load when the URL is people is hit? Okay, the component that I wanted to import is people. That is good. So let's not worry about few other things. Let's first figure out one at a time. Okay. So now I have the new routing. Let me go back and see nothing is happening. So to work to navigate this navigation to work and load the specific piece at given point of time. Now you say what you need to load. When the URL contains something like this people, you want to load the people component. That's good. That's good. But where do you want me to load that? So this is a pretty big app. You know, where do you want me to load? So to specify that in the app component, the root component for the same module is this. Here you have to set, you know, tell that router outlet. You need to give this tag. So if you save this, now if you come here, see the people works is here. That means the people component is already here. So our first routing is working, guys. See, our first routing is working. So step number 1, create this module, app routing module. So the name is up to yourself. It shouldn't be app routing, or it can be, you know, star routing. It's up to you. So what do you want to keep it? But you know, since I imported in many locations, I just wanted to keep it app routing. And once you created this file, you need to import all the components that you want to create routing for. And then if you want /people, you will say people. So you will define a path and you will create a component like this. Okay. Is that clear until now?
Yes, bro.
Any confusion, any of that sort? Okay. So another important thing is that, so router outlet is got confused. There is no people here. It just route. So what do you want me to do if there is no routing is given? Okay. Somebody did something. I don't know what to do now. So you have to say it like this. You can do 2 things. If the path is not very clear, like if this guy, you know, empty, you know, path is empty, you load the component called people component. So I wanted to people as a default component. So if nothing is given, it's just the root page. If this is root, I just wanted to load people, but as a hierarchy, this should go up. So hierarchy is little important in things. So I've created second routing, but this time I said if there is nothing is given, just load the people component. So I can use that one component in multiple times to create multiple routes. It simply loads that component here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, good. And now second part is what? Path, planets, what component? Should we worry about incorporating everything here, or come back, complete one and everything and come back? I think let's go one by one. So that way we will keep it smooth. Okay, now we got people component working. Okay, people component working and it is good. So what do I want to do? First, I want to create a container. Because bootstrap container. Okay, I keep it like this. The alignment will come. That's good. Now this is aligned with this component is aligned with the entire thing. So should I wanted to keep everything inside? No, definitely no. That's a no, because Angular is all about creating smaller components, very small components. Okay. So what do I want? So I will load a particular planet, a planet here, a planet here, a planet here. So there is a chance that I end up creating end up repeating myself a lot. So first of all, let's go out and figure out a what way to display a planet. So I need to display the planet information, right? So first of all, not icons, it's docs. I think cards layout is something. Okay, this is good, right? So like an image, the planet information and short description. I think this is fine. Should we see something else? Button is going to make things complex. I think this is fine. That is also fine, but what is that information we are getting? So if I go to planets, I'm getting name, residence, population, and everything. I think this is going to be good because image, name, description, and some of the items like population, everything is looking good. So I'll copy this component, copy, and paste it here. Let me make sure. Okay, image is not an image. I think. Let me find out that image. Let me replace that image with some image. This is nonsense. My friend comes to rescue. Flickr. Site can't be reached. Why am I blocked or something? Okay. Okay. Photos. copy image URL. So I just wanted to verify everything comes together. Yeah, I think if I give it, yeah, this is the way I wanted: planet name and planet description. So let me replace that information. So here, first of all, always remember, if your component is getting heavy with this kind of HTML, you just go ahead and split it. This is the alarm. So if it is growing more than 30 and you see that, these kind of components, the next thing should come to your mind is split it. So this is one job, right? What is this? This one job is to display information. And if I click it, it should tell me what to do. I think this is one distinct action. So I'll create one distinct component for it. So click on this folder, copy relative path, ng generate component, place that path, but I don't need source app here. Pages / people / people. Of course, people. Oh my god, I was supposed to create people. I was looking at planets, but I know people will also have people, and I'll person component. In the people, I want to display a person component. A particular person will have a particular schema. So this particular schema is here. So I'll copy that here, and I will I'm sure that I haven't confused. So instead of displaying everything here, I will create another component and keep that one card element there. And I repeat that person as many times as I want here. So if you could see, I just moved this HTML, card HTML, and kept in the person. So if I now, you see on the parent component, if I want 50 people, I get the 50 people. See, it's simple on the parent. So you will have to move your repeating HTML. This is going to be repetitive. So I move it to a person, particular, created a component called person, and get the selector and paste that HTML there, get the selector. This is the very, very important subject of Angular. How do you create components and how do you reuse? So this is what I wanted to reuse. So I created a person component. I'm using it as many times as you want. Any confusion here? I was supposed to have the card HTML here, but I moved that particular one card HTML into one particular person, I moved here, and then I'm repeating on the top. If I put an ng for loop, I get 50% here, and everything is simple. So if I don't want an image, I'll simply go here and remove this image tag, and that is affecting all my cards. So I don't have to go and delete in 10 different places. One component, it's here, remove, it's not there. So maintenance is easy, repetition is easy, light on HTML. So that's good. Now I don't have the real data, but I wanted to now load it. To load the real data, what we have to do? Anyone wants to run me through the steps that we have? Okay, in the people's component, first I wanted to import is what? HTTP. This guy gives me creeps. Oh my God. Okay. Import from I think I'm good. So first you need to import, number one, you need to import HTTP client module. Okay. Because this is where the API interaction stuff resides. Angular is not getting shipped with everything inside, because if Angular has 2000 things and 2000 things that are directly plugged onto your app will have 2, 3, 4, 5 MB and it will take forever to load. So you are loading whenever you need something is kind of dependency injection. I'm dependent on it. If you don't have server side calling or anything, why do you have that code in your Angular component, Angular module, right? So it's like you're only taking from Angular that is you need it much. So first you import it in the module. Second, you import that in your component. So how can you import that? I mean, we usually use a service, right? We create service and we write everything there and then use it, but let's not complex things here. So let's save it until here and verify everything is working fine. Everything is working fine. Go to people component and I'm trying to choose HTTP client. Okay. I've imported HTTP client, and in the constructor, you will say private HTTP : HTTP client. Now I got HTTP client, so that when my component is loaded, I need to load data and keep it to any. I just wanted to keep it to any. Okay. The ting is disturbing me. So how much time we left? Oh my God, 3 minutes. That is fine. So this dot data. Let's do this. This dot HTTP dot get. This is get, right? Get, and the URL is this. Maybe people. So I need to load this data. Okay. Then people. Okay. And if I get this, I need to subscribe. This will return you a observable. Okay. This is going to give you an observable. Why it is being written observable? Because whenever you trigger some change, it is going to refresh the data. So your HTTP get object is always going to return you an observable. To get the data out of your observable, you need to understand subscribe. So take your time, find some good material and try to understand observable. It's just another advanced version of promise. Okay. In the promise, you say, if it is promise, you would say that then, okay. And you say success, error, and you call the functions, right? Same way. That's exactly the same one, but promise will resolve once and go. So after that, you will not have anything. But subscriber is something is different. It is a stream. So you get that response again and again and again to this method. So that's the difference between observable and promise. So making a call, you just simply in your HTML, you just simply did like this, await, and next line, you use response.json, res.json. I know you used fetch API a lot, but that is not the case here. Angular always suggests you to use streams. That means observable. So you needed to verify that. So let me go ahead and console log this guy. So what I'm trying is, so this is a hook. This is a lifecycle hook. What is this called? The constructor, the ng on in it is called lifecycle hooks. Lifecycle hooks is what? Whenever something is happening, they will trigger. So let's say this is ng on init. This means whenever the component is getting initialized, that means the first time that is being rendered onto the UI, this will trigger. And once this is initiated, this will trigger, this will get the data. So let's see if I'm getting the data properly. So let me go to console. I should see 82 different people. Okay, I've got 82 different people, but for now I only got 9 people. That means it's giving a pagination for me. So I can put 1, 2, 3 on bottom. So second is get something like somewhere. So people. So it has fetched me what? People, page 2. So this is, if I wanted to go to next, I just need to send the next pen and I'll get the next set. So that means I got first 10 set. If I want next 10 set, this guy configured this. That's fine. I think I don't want it to integrate pagination and everything. Anyways, I know you guys can do the homework on this, but for now, I'll work on the first 10. So now let me move this to a function. Load people. So, okay. Page. And I put so if I'm giving this as a homework, this should give you this is just a string syntax. Let me keep it backtick syntax. So now it's a number, load page. Whenever initializing this dot, page number 1. So on initialization, I'm getting page number 1, but the next one is page number 2. So if you need page number 2, what do you need to do? You need to send page number 2, 3, 4 like that. That's good. Okay. So now I'm getting that information, but that is in here. So people. Okay. So now I want to assign that into my data. This dot data is equals to res, and this dot people is equals to res dot result. So I just need all the people to go inside. So res is any. So if I say any, I can now say anything. So finally, I get everything inside people about people. So now let me log this guy. That is the coolest part now. What is the cool part? I'm getting, 10 people's data, everything here onto this dot people. I think so far no confusion. Now I got the 10 people's data. I have to do it what? Dev row dev dot container. This is bootstrap. And then what? Dev dot call. This is one particular column. And I wanted to repeat this column. ng for let person for people. Okay. And now if you save it, okay, something ng for isn't an, okay, it's not for, it's for off. Okay, So I wanted to have ensure one beside the other, but that's not the case. A person. Any idea? Any idea why I am getting one below the other? Because call supposed to have one beside the other, right? When I said call, they should align one beside the other, right?
I think you have to arrange a row.
I think row inside a container. Am I missed there? Or container inside row? Okay, okay, I got it. So I think I messed it up because container after row. So inside a container, there will be a row. So I think I messed up the order, and that when. So now there are 10 people. I'm getting 10 cards, but no content. The content inside them is dummy. So how can we get this information, the person data inside this component? We already discussed that. What is it? At the date input, I know input, person info. Okay. So you expect that input inside of a person, and you come to people and you send that person info from here like this. So go to person. This is how you are expecting, and send that person info from up top. So let me close everything here. Just open the people and person HTML. So now people is sending the each people information as person information. The component is actually getting it as a person. It should get it as a person. Let us verify if I'm getting that information at all. So you can do it like this. You can keep a JSON filter and you could see, yes, the data is coming. Here it is Luke, here it is CP330, RDD2. These are the awesome robots that we see. Darth Vader, the villain. So yeah, I'm getting that information inside to this content. Now it's my choice. What do I want to display? Okay. In the image, do I have the image? Unfortunately, this API is not supplying any image for us. Let me verify. No image for us. So there is no point in keeping the image concept here. But we can keep it as a placeholder if you want, if we want. But absolutely no need. No need of image. Now for the title, I want to replace it is what? Person.info. We need to look at that data that we are getting. Where is the title body? Okay, name. Okay. So person.info.name in the card title. So now I got Luke Skywalker, CP30, RD2. Very good, very good. That these things are popped up. Next, we want to do what? Some small description. Where can I find description about the person? I think there is no description of that sort. Maybe for planets and everything we got description, but we don't get a description for this guy. Name, skin color. Maybe instead of description we can ignore. We could say it like this. Yeah, we got 2 scar shapes. We got this many films, 4 films. Okay, I got film, right? So what's the best way to display the films here? So maybe I can go to chips. Badge, maybe badge. What do we call in Bootstrap? Yeah, badge, I guess. secondary. So I'll say films. So I'm just going random. I think first let's plan out. I wanted to display the birth year, the films he's worked in, and the ships he has drove, and some personal traits. Okay, that's what I wanted to display. So maybe birth year here, and gender here, and the films here, and starships there. So that's what I got. So I will say like this. Paragraph, maybe I'll say DOB, and the same thing here. It's a simple job, right? So we go here and copy that birth year and paste it here, and then what? Copy the same object, come here, replace it here. I wanted to just show, eye color, films. I think films is an array. So we have to do what? Paragraph, films is an array. Now I have to, I thought of displaying it in the chips mode. So copy, have that one and say ng for let film of what? Film of person info of dot films. That's what we wanted to do it, right? So films. So I get film, and this is an array. Maybe I'm not getting the titles here, but just links. Let's paste the links for now and see later how can we load that information there. So let's save it until now and see what is happening. So we are getting the films links here, kind of looking odd, but so the next section is all about view more. So I got that and I just did this, and there's no way that I'm changing my now routing with this. You can make these buttons active. So let me go ahead and create that. So where is this HTML exist, guys? Any idea? So this HTML was created in navigation on the topmost layer. Now, if you needed to click, if you clicked something, you guys there with me?
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. If you need something to be clicked, you will say you need to create an attribute here and assign that particular. One second. So I want this people button to take me to people stamp. So I would say like this, router link. So you need to do a property binding. The box is about property binding. And you would say, you need to give an array and then say people. If I click here, it will take me to people. Same way, if you want planet, you will have planets. I come here. So am I getting, cannot find match for planets because we haven't defined planets. So let's go do that job later. And let what? Star ships. Okay. So we don't have that routing yet because we haven't decided that. We haven't written that. So path, starships, component, colon, starship component, create next routing path. But what it is just be decided? Planets, string, close, component. No, not that component. This is idiotic. This is a comma, component, dot planet component. A comma is missing here. Finally, everything is in place. Now, if we save everything and navigation, planet, starships. So if I click planets, planets component is coming. Starship, if I click starship, starship component is coming. So if I click people, people data is loading. So I just did everything as a POC. So if there are any questions, you can ask me now. But the homework is that complete this and you need to implement one more routing. If I click view more, I needed to go to a person's full details component. So create a page, create another page here. Person details, planet details, starship details. So how can you pass in? If say, if there is a button, this is a movie button, right? So these are the films. So you already have a link here. You could say movie 1, movie 2, movie 3, movie 4. And if you click on that one particular button, you load the data. So you can send this information to a particular page. So how can you send? In the form of router parameters. So you can send it like this. Either if it is a link, you can put a comma. Okay. Or actually you need not to. You would say query params. There are many ways to do this. Query params and link movie. Maybe you could say data to this one. So you can send this information. So now if I click on people, see the data is gone. Now you can access this information inside the component. So you come to people. In the people, if you specifically wanted to load something, I guess I could do that if we were over time box. Okay, for this week, okay, let's try to load everything in planets and starships. I mean, if you think you completed it soon and you wanted to just render different films, if I click on films, I should load films. If I click on view more, I should load more information about this particular person and show that information in a single page, like a profile page, cricketer profile page or a footballer profile page, like how many scores he did and everything. The homework is to complete this planet and starships piece. Okay, so let me stop the recording.